Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You know why I'm here?
No.
There was a theft of a package from on Tuesday.
When police, using their dystopian flock surveillance system, saw a green Rivian truck driving down the same street in the same town 20 times over the course of a month, they became suspicious.
You know we have cameras in that town and you can't get a breath of fresh air in or out of that place without us knowing, correct?
Okay.
You've been driven through, 20 times this month? You're going to stand by you don't know why I'm here.
I know.
And what made it even more suspicious was that the driver of that Rivian truck was a woman with blonde hair. Shocking, I know. So when a $25 package went missing from a porch in that neighborhood that the blonde bandit was driving her $70,000 truck through on a daily basis, it obviously must have been her, am I right?
I have you on camera.
Okay.
You taking a package and walking away. Is there any reason why you would have done that?
Nope.
At that point, the government did what any good dystopian government agency would do. They sent a rude, bald member of their goon squad to the woman's front door to lie to her, to gaslight her, and to threaten her. Sergeant Jamie Milliman of the Columbine Valley Police Department identified Elser as the suspect. Milliman insisted that the evidence was definitive, stating that it was 100% her with zero doubt.
I've got it on camera. It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I wouldn't have come here unless I was 100% sure. 100%.
Where's your
It is
trail?
certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to. I'm sorry, but it's true.
What
I
was
don't
I
make
wearing?
these things up.
Elser, on the other hand, denied any involvement or knowledge of the theft of this $25 package, and she repeatedly asked to view this doorbell footage, which allegedly showed her stealing this package. But Sergeant Milliman refused, explaining that showing it to her would be a courtesy that she did not deserve because she was lying to him.
Do you know anyone that lives on?
No.
Okay, well then I'll make this easy. Since you're just going to deny it, I'm going to issue you a summons that you'll be showing up in court in Jefferson County.
Well, can I see this video?
If
or
you go to
something?
court, you can. If you're going to deny it, I'm not going to extend you any courtesy. If you're going to lie to me, I'm not going to extend you any courtesy. I just told you what I have. You're going to deny it. You told me you weren't in the Countable Mark. I have you
I wouldn't say I was
roughly
in there.
20 times this
I
month
wouldn't
alone.
say I was in there. I drive through there, but don't drive through there that often.
You say I don't. You work from home.
What
So I'm
day
not
is
going
this
to argue
happen?
with you.
A side-by-side comparison with her photos shows clear differences. The woman in the video had a different facial structure, nose-shaped cheekbones, and apparent age. It clearly was not her.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. As many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer instructor. I train and instruct military and law enforcement all over the country on various law enforcement disciplines to include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force, advanced criminal investigations, etc. And I'm just doing a video response. This video kind of went viral, and I just want to give you my honest opinion on it. Again, I want you to know this isn't legal advice. This is just my honest opinion on what I see, how I feel, based upon my training experience, the facts that I have at hand, and what I'm able to articulate, my opinions and thoughts on the matter. When I look at this, I see an officer that I just see incompetence. I see an incompetent investigator, and I see an officer using very poor interview tactics to attempt to elicit a confession. That's really what I see here. And again, the reason why I say that is because if the officer, again, I can just speak for myself as somebody that does advanced criminal investigations, as somebody that teaches advanced criminal investigations. If I have probable cause, I'm not going there without a wet signature. I'm not, right? I'm not going to go there. And me personally, I'm just not that guy. Everybody's interview style is different. I don't go there and, tell you that, oh, I have probable cause. I'm going to arrest you because you just want to play this game. You want to play this game. I just think that's garbage. I think it's garbage. It's garbage tactics. Like, this is 2025. Back in the day when people were beating confessions out of people. Okay, cool. Different time. Still wasn't right. But I just that's not my style. It just shows incompetency because my job is I need to be able to do my job and overcome any kind of affirmative defense and overcome any issues that the defense might throw without your consent. And I know that sounds horrible, But it's just the truth, right? It's kind of like a DUI stop, right? I need to be able to conduct an investigation and prove to wit all the elements I need for an arrest without your consent and without you assisting me, right? That's how I operate. When I do investigations, my automatic assumption is that you're not going to cooperate with me, and I have to overcome anything you have, and I don't need your consent to do it because I'm going to use every investigative and technological advance and prowess to overcome anything you have to say, and I don't care. See, that's a very different type of approach to this. And again, most people, if I'm being honest with you, would prefer this type of approach, right? People say they don't, but trust me, more people would rather have this type of Elmer Fudd approach than a guy like me who's going to use every technological advance to my disposal to prove or disprove my case. It's just the truth. And so for me, I see incompetence, because if they're truly using flock cameras and they truly have access to this technology, it should be pretty easy to ascertain very quickly if she's in fact the person that committed this crime. And I'm saying this as somebody that I do trace investigations, pattern of life investigations, right? So I know that sounds scary to some people, but when you get to these higher level ends of investigative work, like sometimes that is an investigation that you will in fact do. And so pattern life trace investigations, require law enforcement like myself to utilize probable cause and then go through, see how you've been living your day to day, see where you bought your last alcohol purchase, for example, or something like that. Like that's what these higher level investigators, when they're doing, big target operations, these are some of the investigations that are going on, even with the Charlie Kirk shooter, right? Like, a pattern of life investigation was done, things like that. So let's look at some case law real quick. What is probable cause? Again, probable cause exists when at the moment of an arrest or warrant, law enforcement has articulable facts and observations that would lead a prudent, reasonable person to believe that crime was in the process of being committed, had been committed, or was about to be committed. Again, more likely than not. And then we have 9 Supreme Court SCOTUS case law precedences there. So again, when it comes to probable cause, again, I'm just one of those guys. If I'm showing up at your door, and I'm having a conversation with you like this, or anything remotely where I'm going to be pressing you about the information I have, it's because I have a wet signature. So regardless of what you tell me, I have a wet signature. Like you're leaving, right? I'm not gonna, and I'm one of those people, and I was taught very, very young in my police career, never threaten somebody with something you are unwilling or unable to do. So if I tell you that you're under arrest, you're going to be under arrest. That's because you are, because I came ready. And so again, everybody was taught and trained differently, but that's what I was taught, and that's what I teach. And so this whole idea that, again, that's just what I see. So if the roles were reversed, for example, and somebody's coming to my door and I have a few things up my sleeve, right? The first and most important thing that I have going for me is I don't commit crimes and I don't take things off people's porches, right? So that of itself gives me a huge advantage in this situation. Also, I'm law enforcement. I teach advanced criminal investigations. I have a law degree, so I feel very confident in the case law, and I also feel very confident in how law enforcement are trained and the tactics that they use. And so when I see this, the first thing I think of is an incompetent cop that's stretching at straws. And so in that case, if it's me, I'm just going to turn the officer down and just shut the door and be like, thank you, you can be on your way. Because if he had a warrant, there's nothing I would be able to do, right? Peyton v. New York, he would be able to come in and get me. There would be nothing that I would be able to do to stop that arrest if I wanted to. So, again, to me, it's just, I look at this and I just see incompetent investigative work. And again, with the advances in technology and with what we can do as investigators, there's no reason why this should have happened. And the only reason why it would have happened is because, again, you have a law enforcement officer that is, incompetent or can't perform these investigations at a high enough level yet. And he definitely needs some more training and some more resources. So there you have it. Hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. As always, guys, long live the Republic.